Hi Cancer, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we're actually doing the monthly readings. So looking through at September, what is going on in your energy. We are doing just a bit of a general reading today. If you're wanting to look at money stuff, the most recent All Signs was all about money. And then we will be doing some September overview over love at the end of the week. So definitely make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can keep up to date with those videos. Today I'm actually using two decks as one deck today. So we do have the Seeker's Lenormand, and I have mixed that with the Earthbound Oracle. Okay, so they are a companion deck. There is also a tarot deck that goes along with these two decks as well, but I've actually blended them together today so we can get the most out of both. All right, but getting into it for you, Cancer, I will pull out all your cards first and then we will work our way through. Starting off with a bit of an overview for you. Okay, Cancer, what's going on for Cancer in September? Overview or theme of the month for Cancer for September, please. Okay, and Cancer's energy throughout September. Doing past, present, future for Cancer's energy throughout September. The challenges for Cancer in September. And the advice for Cancer. All right, and the hidden energy we have for you. I will just grab one more here to, a couple more, just to clarify some of these other cards. Clarifying the second card of the overview there. Clarify that card there, yes. Clarify what's in between the present and the future energy for Cancer, please. Clarifying the present more than the future, yeah. Okay. Starting off with the theme of the month for you, Cancer. Firstly, we do have the bond energy here. Okay, so strong bonds are strong connections for you this month. And it does sort of let us know that for a lot of you, I feel like this may be connected to a specific bond or a specific connection that you have with it's not even just as one specific person, but it's the way that you create bonds with others in your life, because you're really kind of seeing the rewards of that this month. We do have the rider there, clarified by the gift. All right, so it's kind of, the rider does tell us that there's good news on the way, and it's, coming in the form of a gift, coming in the form of, an offering, I feel, to a lot of you here. There's some sort of offering being made to you, good news in the form of an offering, that is sort of showing you that certain connections and bonds that you have made with people around you are kind of, or it could also be, general commitments that you've made in your life, and they're kind of paying off this month. You're receiving some sort of dividend, some sort of offer that, well, I've seen how committed you are to this, and now that means that you're now eligible for that kind of energy. So it's a bit, I feel like it may clarify itself a little bit more as we go through, but for a lot of you, it's talking about, the commitments, the bonds that you have to things in your life, and the way that you commit to pretty much everything. It's kind of like committing to people in your life, the way that you show commitment to yourself, and the way that you're, committed to not only relationships but certain things in your life as well, like when you're taking them on as, a commitment and a bond that, my bond is my word kind of thing, that if I say I'm going to do something, that I'm going to do it. So it just feels very strong energy on your end, that you are the sort of person here, Cancer, that, if you commit to something, you're committed to that thing, that you don't go and break those bonds willy-nilly. And it's kind of paying off for you this month in some kind of way. Now, your energy here, we see you coming from the past with this tower energy, where you have been very sort of, I do feel a bit of, defensive walls around you there in the past, spending a lot of time to yourself, and sort of going within. But it really just sort of shows us that you have had a very traditional, structured way of being. That once again, your commitment is your word, kind of thing. That there's a structure to the life that you have lived, and that you have been very committed to sticking to that tradition that you have created within your own self. That it feels like morals more than anything. That you've just stayed very muchly within the structure of your own morals, and in the past that has worked really, really, well for you, and it's showing us that that's the core of who you are. That's the foundation, the structure that you are working with here. But what we're actually seeing in the present is you kind of learning a little bit more here. We have the book in the present energy there. So this is like, you're entering into a new part of your life. You're entering into a new chapter of your life, but you really are learning a lot about yourself in the process, and about the way that you have, been very rigidly within that structure of yourself. Because we see the combined energy there, we have reflect. Okay, so you're really kind of looking back through your life here, and looking at all the times when that has and has not worked for your benefit. Okay, that you've maybe stayed committed to things beyond when you should have, just because that's the traditional structure within you, that I stay committed to these things, and I when I'm committed, I'm committed, even when it ends up hurting me. And also the good ways that you have done that as well, that yes, I've stayed committed to those things, and look how that has paid dividends for me. But we're entering into a time period here for you, Cancer, where this is giving you the opportunity to sort of fine tune and learn a little bit more about that sort of way of being, the morals, and giving you this opportunity to slightly change those structures, in more positive ways for yourself, of course. That maybe, sticking to a certain very rigid belief has kind of kept you restrained from being able to do everything that you really want to do here with your life, and with the way that you're interacting, and the way that you're committing to things. So it's kind of feeling here like you're just learning a little bit more about other ways you can try to do things, and other ways that you can still be, committed, and you're not breaking those bonds, but you're not breaking the bond to yourself first and foremost. That you are just sort of learning a little bit more, reflecting upon the past a little bit here, in order to sort of fine tune the way that you do have these bonds to things. Because I am just sort of picking up here that for some of you, there has been a bit of a history here where this has actually worked against you, in certain ways, where you've maybe stayed committed to things past their expiration date, just because you're like, I'm so committed, and maybe it has actually ended up hurting you. Not just people, but things in your life as well, that maybe you've stayed loyal to jobs, or things like that, that it's ended up, not actually working out in your favor, the way that you have had that strong bond and commitment there. So you're sort of working out how to fine tune that energy through reflection of how that has worked for you in the past. Sort of using the past as a guidebook to work out, hang on, what do I want to change, and sort of just fine tune him as I'm moving into the future. Moving into the future, we do have the sun energy, the soul. Okay, so this is from the Oracle deck there. So we do, as we all know, that we do see that in the lenormand as well, that sun energy. So it really shows us, everything sort of coming to light. So it's once again that reflection, the really looking back through the past to really clarify and bring it out into the open, and have these personal epiphanies coming through of how to fine tune things within your own self, in order to find happiness, rather than keeping yourself restrained to very strict guidelines, you're now moving forward in a way where it's like, no, it's not so much that I have to keep the structure, that I have to, stay committed to that bond. The most important bond that I have is my own happiness, and I need to stay committed to finding my own happiness, and that kind of changes the way that you're making this sort of traditional structure within yourself, and the way that you're able to change that and fine tune that moving forward, to really have these epiphanies of, that's not serving me anymore. I don't need to stay committed to that particular thing or person. If my happiness is actually, the number one important thing here, it doesn't mean that I have to stay committed to that just because, that it's the tradition I've put in myself, because I'm just picking up here for some of you. It's asking me to tell you about a personal example here, Cancer, where, if I were to stick to traditional structure within myself, I was raised in a family that says, well, family is important. You have to stick by your family. But I kind of came to a point in my life where I realized, well, no, I choose happiness instead of that particular bond, because it was not making me happy. There was a particular bond within my family situation, my mother, where, as a young girl, majority of people would say, "Oh no, well it's your mother. You can't lose that bond of a mother." But I chose my own happiness over that bond, because that bond was actually hurting me more than helping me. So I chose my own happiness over that bond, regardless of the tradition and the structure that is imposed by that relationship. So I am picking up that for some of you, there may be something very similar here for you, and that's why it was asking me to share that with you. The biggest challenge that you do have this month, Cancer, simplicity, keeping it simple. This is actually, sometimes the hardest things are the easiest things. And it sounds easy on paper, but it may not be as easy, so the challenge is to keep it simple. The challenge is to not over delve into this issue, and to, that's why simplicity is the challenge here, because there's a big part of you, Cancer, that is kind of like, well, the answer really can't be that simple, but it is, so it's actually quite challenging for you to just allow it to stay simple and allow it to be simple, that sometimes the simple answer is the right one, for you, that you're kind of like, well, no, there's got to be more to it. But no, sometimes the simple answer is the right answer. But this is a big challenge for you this month, because it's kind of like you are wanting to overthink it. You're wanting to delve into it and jump into it and really, know all the nitty gritty details of this stuff. But you don't need to. Keeping it simple is chasing your happiness. I feel like that's the simple answer, is your happiness is more important, Cancer. That is the simple answer, but you keep questioning that, and you keep questioning, no, it's got to be more complex than that. It can't be just that. It can't be that easy, that my happiness is the number one important thing. It can't be that easy. And you keep questioning that, and that's why this is your challenge this month. We do also see the guide as your challenge as well. So trusting your own internal compass seems to be a bit of a challenge for you this month as well, because your internal compass keeps telling you, but no, you just choose happiness, choose happiness, choose happiness. Keep it simple. Happiness is more important. And you're kind of questioning that. You just keep questioning that. And that's why this is challenging you this month, to trust your own intuition, to trust that internal compass, to trust your spirit guides, your the universal pull, to just follow the happiness. It seems too simple for you, Cancer. You really are questioning it this month, that it's seriously, it can't be that easy. It can't be that easy. I feel you saying that to yourself a lot this month. But the advice we have for you here, we have wealth and we have child. Okay, so follow the wealth and trust the wealth, trust the happiness. That the things that make you feel happy, that make you feel fulfilled, and like you have everything that you want, it really is that simple with the child energy there. You see, think about how a child views the world. They look around the world with this giant sense of wonder that absolutely anything is possible. And that's your advice this month, is to try to view the world through, the eyes of a child, with sense of adventure and wonder, that, the wealth that is possible in your life. It's like, I could, find this giant treasure of everything I ever wanted. It could be amazing. It could be like a fairy tale come true. That is actually the advice for you this month, to really, try to be very innocent with the way that you're looking at the world, and the way that you're looking at your own happiness, especially that, fairy tales could come true. You could actually have that happily ever after, Cancer. It's quite that simple for you. It's a matter of, trying to, just seek the adventure and just enjoy the moment and just enjoy the wealth of everything being possible for you this month. The hidden subconscious energy we do have is you kind of fighting yourself here. We have the tree and the whip coming through. So, this is a kind of self-care that you are fighting yourself on. Once again, the tree is, it's that enlightenment. It's that, reflecting upon your past in order to grow and heal. And it's taking care of yourself. And you're having trouble with that. You're fighting it. You're fighting taking care of yourself. You're fighting putting yourself first. Uh, that's the subconscious energy. For some of you, there may be some health issues this month as well. I just want to, let you know there may be some physical health issues going on for you this month as well, Cancer. So if that's something that has sort of been popping up for you, make sure you do seek a professional for help, because, it's just sort of, it's telling me like things like, you can kind of see the imagery there. It looks like something long and skinny. So I'm kind of seeing, like intestinal issues. I'm seeing worms for some of you, which is weird. But that you've been so busy fighting yourself. Your body is kind of fighting itself in some way, for whoever's got this health issue. So definitely make sure you see a professional in regards to that as well, if that is you. But yeah, it's more about fighting yourself over looking after yourself and taking care of yourself. You're kind of like, no, I can't take care of myself first. I can't put my own happiness first. Yes, you can. That is what this month is asking of you. That is the gift you're being given this month, is to really be able to look at the bonds that you've created with everything around you, and understand that you have a responsibility and a bond, a commitment to yourself first and foremost. You were given this human body as a baby, and it's now you're an adult. It's your job to take care of this human. Okay, it's your job to take care of this human, and it's your job to take care of this human's happiness first and foremost. It's your first job before you take care of anyone else. It's your job to take care of yourself. Okay, Cancer. So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all again soon.